digging. No matter how much he looks out the window, the sun has disappeared for him. From his window, he tries to look at the skies, but to no avail. He can't see past the pitch black mantle that surrounds his house. He can see his fence line, but no further than that. His name's Alan MacArthur, age 77, lives in a quiet neighborhood. His kids never visit him as an old man, but he was bound to live a lonely life, and now a dark one since the sun won't rise anymore. He grabs his truck keys and tries to start his truck, but it will not crank. Not even a sound comes from it. He decides the battery is dead and has no way to recharge it. He tries to make phone calls, but all he can hear is static, as if he had bad reception. As time goes by, he tries to sleep it off. Maybe he'll wake up and it'll be daytime again. There's no use. No matter how much he tries to, he can't seem to fall asleep. At one point, he thought of making himself some tea. Maybe that would help him fall asleep. But as he searches cupboards, they were all empty. Weird, as he remembers being stocked up with food he had recently purchased. He wonders what's going on and begins to search the house to see what else was missing. All his food is gone, his refrigerator empty, his medicine cabinet empty, and as he begins to walk through his house, he finds out that all he has in it is his bed, wardrobe, couches, a TV set, radio, phone, and many other things that were not consumables. He tries to phone the police, make a report. He picks up the phone and dials 911, and it connects him, but once again, all he can hear is static. Through the static, he decides to try and communicate with them, as he knows someone had answered the phone. He gives them his address through the static, hoping that they would be able to hear him. He repeats his address 3 times, then hangs up the phone. He looks out the window again, but it's still pitch black. He then tries a different window to get a different view and finds out that the window is broken. There's broken glass lying on the floor. He can't repair it as he has no spare windows. He wonders how it happened, and why wasn't he able to hear the glass break. He goes back to his room, and this time, he's committed to lay in bed until he falls asleep. As he lied in bed, time goes by, and it felt like a few hours had gone by, and yet he can't seem to sleep. He even kept his eyes closed throughout this whole time, and yet no sleep at all. He begins to hear something in the backyard. One of his bedroom windows facing the backyard, so he gets up and looks out of it. His heart races as he sees someone in his backyard digging a hole, and is wearing what it looked like black torn robes, as if this person had fallen out of the hands of time. This person was digging the hole fast, angrily, and what scared him the most was the fact that this person digging the hole seemed to be twitching, as if he was possessed while digging. He begins to debate with himself whether he should confront this person or not, but decides not to, as this person could be on drugs. He decides to try and call the police again. Maybe this time the phone will work, but once again, all he can hear when connected is static. The digging noise continues, and he knows that this person is out there digging. With all the dread in the world, he gets close to his bedroom window, shaking, almost close to breaking out in tears from the fear he feels for this person. But once again, he glances out the window. The person out there stops digging, looks at the window where Alan is watching from, smiles and waves at him. Alan is terrified now. The person out there knows that Alan had been watching. Alan quickly backs away from the window, and the digging noise continues. Alan is terrified, trembling as he walks through his almost empty house. He walks to a different room in his house to peek out the window. Maybe this time the person outside won't see him. But as you can guess, the person outside still notices him. Alan, at his old age, wants to go outside to ask this person why he was there, but the fear he feels doesn't give him the willpower to do so. He decides to stop watching and waits for the police to arrive, but he wasn't sure if they had heard him on the phone. So once again, He calls them and tries to give him his address through the static noise that the phone makes when connected. After he hangs up the phone, he sits on his couch, feeling defeated, as a digging noise is heard in the background. He remembers being a father, a husband, and how he missed those days. He wishes his wife would still been around. He also wishes his kids would visit him, even though he hasn't seen them in almost 10 years. Alan gets up from his couch and goes back to his bedroom. He locks the bedroom door and decides to wait for the police to get there. He laid in bed to avoid looking out the window, but curiosity gets the best of him. After 20 minutes of laying in his bed, he gets back up and decides to look out the window. He can see the person inside the hole it dug, and there was a stone by it. He sees the person climb out of it, so Alan stands back from the window so he won't be seen, but keeps an eye on the person. The person finally makes it out of the hole and looks back at the window from which Alan is watching. He raises his right hand, and with the index finger he signals Alan to come to him. Alan is now more terrified. As he begins to shake his head, somehow the person could see Alan even through the curtains on the window. As Alan shook his head, the person outside became very upset.
Don't make me come and get you.
At this point, Alan knew that this guy was something more than just a regular person, as he heard these words in his ear. The person outside kept making the hand gestures for Alan to come outside, but Alan kept shaking his head. The figure outside puts the shovel down and begins running towards the house. At this point, Alan fell to the floor, paralyzed in fear, as he can hear this person kicking doors down and running in an unnatural speed inside the house, making his way to his room. The seconds felt like hours, and Alan knew it wouldn't be long before the figure made its way into his room. His bedroom door gets kicked in, but the figure wasn't there yet. But sure enough, seconds after his bedroom door fell, the figure made his way into the room, quickly picked him up from the floor where he laid paralyzed, and dragged him into the backyard. As the figure made its way back into the hole, Alan was able to see some writing on the stone. It had his name on it. The figure quickly dropped him in the hole and began to bury him in there. Alan was able to produce his final words and asked the figure 2 questions within 1 sentence. Who are you? Why are you doing this?
If you haven't figured it out yet, your broken window, it was broken by a stray bullet. You are dead, and I'm an angel, here to collect you.
Alan MacArthur, age 77, an old man who was puzzled by the sun not rising. A man who is also puzzled because a figure standing outside is digging a hole. A man oblivious to the fact that his shattered window was due to a bullet that entered his home and his skull, but will soon find out that he is where realms collide. This story was written by me. If you like my stories and you wish to hear more, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.